Shadow Man proved one of Acclaim's most ambitious, prolific releases from their late 90s catalogue, seeing their T-Side studio putting another of Valiant's comic properties to good use. The technology of the time proved an issue, with the PlayStation 1 version in particular suffering from a myriad of compromises and horrendous visuals. The arrival of the Dreamcast port some months later seemed like the ideal scenario, with Sega's 6th generation system perhaps better equipped to fuel this ambitious adventure fully. While there are some issues familiar to Acclaim's output that still linger, Shadow Man boasts enough pros to overcome these deficiencies. Based on the comic series of the same name, Michael LeRoy is the titular defender of both Liveside and Deadside. A voodoo warrior imbued with the Mask of Shadows in his chest, Michael begins his journey to recover the Dark Souls before Legion and his band of serial killers, including Jack the Ripper, can use its power to bring about the apocalypse. The mix of voodoo, horror, and demonic forces proves a compelling brew, with dark cutscenes bolstered by great voice acting and morose writing which paints a vivid image of the trials you face. Red Pepper, a man best known for his trailer voiceovers, lends his deep tones to voice Shadow Man, and proves a great fit. For the time, Shadow Man boasted one of the strongest stories in the medium.
My hand, the arcing death blow at the end of all things. The horror, I embrace it.
This captivating world ties nicely into Shadow Man's structure, which offers a very open-ended design. Upon entering Deadside, it soon becomes clear that the world is large, encourages exploration, and is filled with hidden paths. It's daunting at first, with the lack of a map system adding to this, but it also proves immensely rewarding. The key to exploration comes from two aspects: equipment and Dark Souls. As you search both the Wasteland hubs and individual stages, you'll find plentiful items which aid your navigation, including tattoos which allow you traversal across lava, up blood waterfalls, and under boiling water, which turns previous hazards into more places to explore. Dark Souls, of which there are 120, increase Leroy's power and allow you to open soul gates that often lead to more levels or items of interest. It's a rewarding loop that sees you growing Michael's power with an immense feeling of satisfaction, even if the slower pace of exploration may turn off the impatient. It results in a robust experience that should take anywhere between 20 and 30 hours to finish. While the adventure sees you mostly exploring Deadside, including the multi-level asylum which offers deranged horrors aplenty, the rare trips to Liveside are just as grim. Often seeing Michael encounter deranged serial killers who follow Legion, these require thorough exploration just to reach them, with unsettling barriers barring progress. Finding all 120 souls isn't essential, but a good majority and the power that they bring are important, necessitating return visits to each location. Luckily, warp points allow you to move between areas. A slew of other secrets, including cheats that range from helpful to outlandish, add even more to the game. It helps that playing Shadow Man is just as fun as exploring. A gaggle of monsters risk ending your journey sharpish, but Leroy comes armed with his shadow gun, along with other weapons found along the way, including real-world firearms, a voodoo fireball shooter, and a shield powered by energy. All combat relies on targeting, not unlike 3D Zelda, and it feels pretty tight, with several zoom modes allowing for you to account for tighter spaces. You can even aim in first person if needed, though it does leave you vulnerable to attack. Platforming works well too, allowing you to jump across platforms, shimmy across ledges, and perform a leap backwards. While Michael can slip off ledges at points, the controls feel responsive for the most part. There are even some cool touches, like how having items equipped prevents you from clinging to ledges, or holding a gun while climbing a rope allows you to shoot while hanging. Though death sends you back to warp points, key actions that open up paths remain recorded, reducing frustration. Shadow Man oozes dark style, something immediately apparent when you step into the blood pools of Marrow Gates. The world is equal parts unsettling and fascinating, mixing voodoo motifs, underworld ruins, and harrowing abominations to great success. The Dreamcast port was the first console version to bring this world to life without compromise, offering cleaner visuals and smoother performance that's almost on par with the PC release. While aspects such as character models still appear low poly, and stutters occur in more intense situations, it's still good for the time. The sound retains much of the quality from the earlier versions, including extensive voice acting, high quality sounds, and top-notch music. Sadly, some bugs can detract from these highs, such as music transitioning poorly between changing tracks, and pausing, causing the music to play twice and ruin your ears. These issues are a shame, but perhaps to be expected from Acclaim ports to the console, and it proved a much better conversion than some of their other transitions to Dreamcast.
This is the place I have not wanted to dream of, and the dream is now the place I partly live through.
Shadow Man remains one of the most ambitious games of its time, melding expansive exploration with voodoo horror, compelling storytelling, and oodles of content to a great whole. While a lack of polish and cerebral pacing did turn off some at the time, it still remains a distinctive adventure some decades later. While it doesn't take full advantage of the hardware, the Dreamcast release proved perhaps the strongest of its console brethren. Those looking for a dark, engrossing yarn to lose themselves in, and aren't averse to some exploration, should check this one out sharpish.
It's just a shame we can't share a drop of the hard stuff together by a roaring peat fire.
I don't drink with snakes.